Hello, Alexa here with my boys. Is it okay to call you my boys?
Yeah, I guess so.
My two Bs, my two bros. Brodie and Brad are here, and we're sitting down doing another episode, LUX Living. So, this is a hot topic we're going to talk about today, and it's very confusing, way over my head. So, I'm hoping they can help answer some questions that some of you might have. And yeah, just it's something that's affecting a lot of businesses in Canada. So the topic is tariff and trade. So what does this mean for your build? So Brad, just trying to understand a little bit of the impact that you guys are seeing. Can you help explain how tariffs are currently affecting home building industry?
Well, it's kind of is confusing because we don't really know all the rules yet, but we have good trade partners and suppliers that we work with, so they're giving us a heads up on stuff, and we're still trying to navigate through what is fully a tariff on certain products. Like for instance, sometimes some flooring comes from the States but it's assembled in Canada. So what is the 25% or whatever that number is going to be on that product. So really what we try and do is we try and work with our client and the designers to pick a product that they like. If it comes from the States, then we can find that out. Then we'll also look for something that's alternatively sourced or made in Canada or that's already here in the country to try and avoid that pricing as we kind of move forward with projects.
So if business wasn't hard enough, let's throw in these tariffs.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a lot like during the COVID crisis where you don't really know what's coming next. So with our agreements that we have in place, most of our stuff is priced out with a specification for it. So we know what the product that the clients are getting is, and we can find out very quickly if that product is going up in price. If there's inventory in Canada already, a lot of the times that won't have a tariff price attached to it, but they'll give us a deadline of you must order it by this date. Everything after that date is going to be new inventory and it'll have a tariff attached to it. So
it's kind of a pressure point too for our clients because we're not trying to railroad them into signing a contract, but we price it out like really that price is good for that day because we don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks. It's kind of like Brodie said during COVID with the lumber pricing, there was such fluctuation. When we priced out some houses, a sheet of plywood was about $30 a sheet. Then during the job, it's $120 a sheet. That's a huge cost difference. And we are starting to see that potentially with, HVAC products and flooring and some of the finishes that we're pricing out right now for clients.
Yeah, another day I just saw that the government, there was a rebate for heating pumps and stuff, and that is officially ending as well.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about that, but I think it's getting halved at the end of the month here. I believe that's because we got rid of the tax on gas. I can't remember what it's called. What was that tax called?
Carbon
tax,
yeah.
I'm like, there's so many taxes. It's like 30-something taxes have been added.
Everywhere you turn, but we only have one we charge is GST.
Nice. So you kind of mentioned, I don't know if you want to talk more about it, but what materials are you seeing right now have the most impact? Like you said something about flooring, but is there like light fixtures? Is it more interior stuff or is it other materials?
Well, I think like a lot of your finishes, it depends on what you choose again and where it comes from. We haven't seen anything yet in steel, have we, Brodie? With the
haven't
pricing?
seen anything yet in steel. That doesn't mean it's not coming, but a lot of the siding companies, a lot of the products are manufactured in the States. So we've already been told that other than what's on the ground and in supply, they're not sure what that new pricing is going to look like yet. And then roofing materials, a lot of the torch-on, a lot of the shingles are manufactured down in the States. So those companies have reached out to us to let us know, to secure pricing. Otherwise, there could be an increase coming.
So this is affecting like everyone you work with, really.
It really is a lot of, because the construction, when you're building a home, we can have up to 100 different trades in there, different people that come in there. So you got different suppliers and trade partners. So it just depends where they're getting their product from. And it's even the products that come from Canada. I'm unsure what's going to happen with just the lumber price. If mills can't ship all their lumber down the States, is it going to go down in price or is it going to go up in price to cover their operating costs? So there's a lot to navigate throughout this right now.
Well, and it's hard because you guys are supporting so many actual like local companies when you do a build or a renovation. Like it's not just, your company is benefiting, you're helping all these other trades and people with jobs. And so do you think it's going to get worse before it gets better again? Or like, I mean, you don't have a crystal ball, but you guys are obviously leaning in with your suppliers, and the big buzzword lately is supporting Canadian made. Are you doing lots of research of like companies that might be able to, that are all Canadian made in Canada? Or is it, yeah.
Yeah, we try and lean on our trade suppliers to come up with those options for us. So
Okay.
when we come up with the design and the interior designer and they pick their colors and kind of what they're going for, they're trying to stay within the budget too. And then we're also looking at, is this a product like Brodie was mentioned before that comes from the States? Are we going to have those issues, right? So
Yeah, we find that certain fixtures, lighting fixtures, plumbing fixtures, it isn't that hard to find a similar product out of Canada. But, when you start moving into the exteriors, those are mass-made products that generally for the look, you are getting that one product. If you're open to changing the look, you can normally find something made in Canada, but you've got to be pretty open to suggestion when it comes to the design of the house.
Wouldn't say it's anything really different than we experienced in COVID, because COVID we had a massive price increase, but also like a supply issue as well. So we're pretty good at sourcing and looking in different spots. So we have that experience from when we had COVID to look somewhere else. For example, like when we were ordering windows, before we could get window package in 6 to 8 weeks, and then it went to 24 to 40 weeks.
32 weeks.
32 weeks. So, to keep projects on schedule, we were looking at different stuff, see who has glass and the material to make the windows in stock. And then we kind of learned from that and adjusted our schedules to keep the projects on schedule as well. So that's another thing too. If you're looking at a project and on a fixed price agreement, we have to change a product because of the tariff, and you don't want to pay, an extra $2,500 for it. But what does that do to your schedule? What are your holding costs to all that? So we can kind of work with you to look at it. Is it a benefit to switch products, or do we just keep going to the status quo, pay that extra $2,500 and kind of move on?
Obviously, you guys are doing the best you can and trying to communicate that with with clients. But how do you guys go about having those conversations? I know we're all about transparency at Lux, and like, someone that is building or renovating, you're having those conversations, communicating. How do you go about communicating these tariffs and delays or pricing changes?
Well, it's like anything. I want to know everything I can up front, so I don't like delay anything. And Brodie deals with that aspect. So he gets on it right away. He delivers the bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news, Brodie.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm the guy who's always
Save the
deliver the
day.
happy
He
stuff,
reminds
right?
me.
I
Brad
hand the
reminds
keys
me of
over.
like, you have to have this awkward conversation now. Have you reached out? But no, a lot of the times we rely on our trade partners to give us the heads up because, if they don't let us know that there's going to be an increase, like I don't have time to reach out to 90 vendors and ask each one like, hey, can you look into this product? A lot of the time, if we have a PO issued, that kind of locks our pricing in, and we let our trade partners know if there's a deposit needed to lock in our pricing, like whatever's needed, we'll take care of it to ensure that we get that price that it was quoted at. And I think that's a big difference between the fixed model that we use and a cost plus where, builders might not worry so much about saving that dollar. Not saying they don't care, but it's easier to slip through the cracks if I haven't issued a PO for something and, I haven't committed to the product, and now, okay, we're 3 weeks out from needing that. I better contact them and issue a PO for the work they need to do. And that's when they find out like, oh, that product's going up. So,
Kind of an example on that was the glass increase that we experienced there a few years ago, right? Like, I'll let Brodie speak on this more because he was in on it, but essentially we had a PO we'd issued to one of our trade suppliers, and then the window price doubled overnight, essentially.
yeah, I think it went up about 38% overnight. And our trade partner was going through his list of projects.
Hold on. He was delivering bad news like Brodie.
He was delivering bad
the bad
news.
news.
And he actually came across our project and he realized we had paid a deposit for the glass up front. And he still called me just to let me know, like, this is what I've been doing all morning. And these were, it wasn't a small window. It was a big custom sliding glass door. It was, $90,000 worth of glass. And he was like, I've spent my morning calling people and just telling them, like, this is your new price for that piece of glass. And he's like, I came across your guys' job and I realized you've already bought your glass. So
Yeah.
that pricing's guaranteed. And he's like, I just wanted to let you guys know that
Yeah.
even though you didn't need it for 8 months and you paid it up front, like, you guys just saved yourself about $40,000.
Wow.
So
This is a thing. We're not talking about like a little $100 here. Like it's thousands of dollars.
Thousands or
on certain things, I mean, you do have to think that for your exterior siding, say you have a $50,000 quoted price, that isn't just going to go up 25% because that's their labor and everything included. It's just the product that's going up.
Right.
So, it's not going to just add 25% to the overall cost of your house if everything has a tariff on it.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's definitely going to increase certain aspects of it.
So is this delaying projects? We kind of talked about timelines. Would you say it is? Or
I don't know
you
if
guys
it's-
are pretty on top of it.
Yeah, we're on top of it. I don't know if it's delaying any project starts. I think where we're seeing delays is in the hesitation to sign that contract. Because of all the uncertainty that you're hearing on the news or wherever you're getting your information from.
I feel like right now, in the world that I work in and I am with and talk to lots of local businesses, it just kind of seems like we're all just like standing here, not sure what's going to happen, just waiting for this election to come.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of politics involved, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to really get into that.
Yeah, that's another episode.
That's a whole other episode, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. What would you say to someone that is maybe hesitant of building right now or doing renovations?
For me, I always say, when people say that to me, I'm like, when is the best time to plant a tree? I always say it's 20 years ago because you want that shade. And it's the same thing with building. I don't think the costs are ever going to go down.
No.
The tariffs may go away, but, by then the suppliers have known that they can charge that. The price will be the price.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it just seems like even over the last few years, everything is just, even that, local coffee has gone up. So it's kind of like anything.
Yeah, businesses' operating costs have skyrocketed, insurance has skyrocketed.
It's like get in the market also,
Everything's gone up, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, do we have anything, did I miss a question or miss anything on tariffs? Or maybe do you have anything positive on this that you can say on it? Or
Jeez.
bad news for me?
Positivity?
Vote.
Yeah, vote.
Make an educated decision this time around and
make sure educate yourself.
Yeah.
It's affecting.
We don't want to get into that subject too
Yeah.
much.
No, but
I could spend hours.
Yeah, it's affecting all small local business. I think what I've learned out of today, even though like what you guys are going through sounds very hard and stressful, and the industry actually just in general, but it seems like you guys with the trades have really come together to support each other.
Yeah, there are people that we work with all the time. I always say we're like one step below the top of the food chain. We've got our clients, then us, then we have all of our other employees and trade partners that we work with, and we all got to work together to keep feeding our families, and we all play an important role in delivering our clients their dream property, right? So we rely on them for their expertise to, deliver the project properly with quality as well as honor their pricing. And if they're upfront with us with their communication, then we can be upfront with our clients too. So there's no hidden surprises, because nobody likes the hidden surprise at all. And the hidden surprises really affect us when we're doing fixed price contracts. Yeah. So it doesn't always go back down to the client. That would stop with us.
Amazing. See? Look at us be positive.
Yeah.
Before we close, can we just mention where this is? Because we love Christina Lake.
Yeah, we do love Christina Lake. This is a house we built a year and a half ago or so on Christina Lake, right on the lake there. It's a pretty stunning property, and the view is amazing. And I can't wait to get out there and surf in front of the house again.
Yeah, we're dying right now looking at it. We're just like, okay, let's do a boat episode. Okay, well, thank you for being raw and authentic and shining some light on some of these tariffs, and hopefully we can see improvement soon.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. About a month.